I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was scarred with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcasted like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the #1 Chief Rock and Knicks Universe, your main man, Uncle Freezie, and welcome to the premier Knicks in the Morning Time show, the Knicks Morning Drive. Salute to everybody watching us on X. I see y'all out there. X, y'all found me finally. Salute to all my people on X, man. Salute to y'all, man. Finally, y'all found your man, Uncle Freezie. Salute to all my YouTubers, man. All my people on YouTube, man. I ain't got nothing but love for y'all, man. Super excited to let y'all know that the channel has finally crossed the 20,000 subscribers mark, which is it was a goal, but more importantly, it's a measure of how many great people we get to share content with. So excited about that. Thank you to the Lawrence Tears family, everybody over the years, man. I want to say shout out to Anthony D, to Free Keith, to GI, to Sarge, Soulfinger, Hoodie Cav, Cornerstone Cav, Stephen Fox. So many people over the years helped us grow and get to this point. All the second gen folks, Coach Malpica, IKBM Dre, salute to DSJ. Man, there are so many nice Hadouken Sharon. There are so many people that helped us get to this place right here, man. I'm super excited to share that with y'all because our goal was growth, and and seeing us cross 20,000 is just a measure and just a measure to let you know how dope our chat has been over the years. Like legit, our chat, and I know a lot of you guys are in a lot of people's chats and such, but I want to say this, without y'all being in this environment, because I can't speak to others, but when y'all are here, the chat is usually on fire. And this is the place. Well, I originated the term. I'm not going to tell you how to fan. I don't know if that spread or not, but I started that here. Like, I don't care how you fan, and I'll respect your opinion whether I agree or disagree if it's smart. Right? Only if it's smart. And y'all know we have a standard. Like, I don't, if you have a smart take, but I disagree, I'll read it and talk about it. And so I just want to thank everybody that has subscribed over the years and has been patient with us as we went through growing pains and things of that sort, and just try to do the right thing by the audience, right? Not try to clickbait you to death or feed you fake narratives, right? This is a fans channel driven by the fans. And I know a lot of people say that, right? A lot of people say that, but how many people have fans jump on the live stream with them and still put out quality content? How many people have fans jump on the live stream with them and still know how to rock the party? So I want to say thank you to everybody that has been along for the ride. Some have come, some have gone. You know how it is. Like, for instance, sometimes somebody's opinion may not be popular and I'll feature it just because they're a fan too, and it may drive another fan away. But the thing about that is, whether you're a fan of that take or not, there's a place here on YouTube for you to share your opinion, whether it's popular or not. And y'all know we abide by the strict trolling policy. So some people are going to stay, and some people are going to get shown the door. We try to be quick and swift with that, like no bullying. This is a safe place, and I appreciate y'all for being here over the years while I go through this thing of trying to figure it out. And thank y'all all for contributing to the process of figuring it out. So we're still a tiny channel. In the grand scheme of things, the subscriber count is what it is. It just means a lot of people feel like listening to Sherwin is cool enough to hit that subscribe button, or listening to Soulfinger is cool enough to hit that subscribe button. So just wanted to say that I already sent the congratulatory text to the guys or whatever. I know they're super excited because they do a lot of work behind the scenes, and I hope y'all appreciate that. So want to get down to the nitty gritty of something. Man, listen, the X crowd is pouring. The X clan is pouring into the chat. Salute to all my people on X, man. I see ya. Man, this thing on X is crazy. I want to say thank you to State of the New York Knicks podcast for turning me on to the X crowd, because I for some reason, for some reason I thought it was just like an afterthought. I didn't know how many people actually interacted on X. I got to get this camera straightened out one day, bro. I might do that today. I got some equipment coming, so I have a few minutes where I can kind of rock the spot a little bit. So I might get this, trying to get this camera and set up in here, fixed the way I would like for it to look. So, yeah. But hey, y'all, I'm excited about a thing, and I want to tell you why. John Bryce is in the building. Salute. Sherwin in the building. Salute. Yo, Sherwin says, I was looking from day one recently. I found it difficult to listen because of a bias. I'm not a cat hater, but I see no way of winning with him. Most sports will embarrass. Yeah. Yuri in the building. Salute. Miguel P. Ed winning. What's good? Hit him up is in the building. Salute. Soulfinger is in the building. Salute. Just Nix is in the building. Old Soul Chief is in the building. Salute. Y'all, listen. I want to start with the thing. Right. I want to start with the thing. Right. This kid, James Nnaji. Listen, I don't want to take credit for everything. Right. I don't want to take credit for everything. Y'all know how sometimes people will jump in right? Some people like to jump in on a thing and be like, yo, man, I said something. This kid, James Naji, I've been saying it since the cat trade. I've been saying it since the cat trade. I watched this hoops channel called Hoop Intellect. It's like a young kid, right? It's a young kid, Hoop Intellect, something like that is his name. I've been watching him for about 3 or 4 years, something like that. And he did a breakdown of James Naji during the draft process. Before the draft process, I'll admit, before the draft process, I didn't know who this kid James Naji was. Hoop Intellect did a breakdown on James Naji before James Naji was about to be drafted. And when I saw the breakdown of it, I was like, yo, this kid looks raw. Right? Danny Landis is in the building. Salute. Tim, what's good, man? Webb in the building. Salute. I saw the James Naji breakdown on the Hoop Intellect channel, right? And so when I saw it, I was like, yo, this kid James Naji is raw. Somebody is going to get a good rotational big if they grab him early and put them in a system. He has starter level potential. When I saw him coming out of during this pre-draft process, right? That's what I thought at the time. Starter level potential, like, go somewhere like the Phoenix Suns. Just rebound, screen, play defense, don't shoot, just be a big active body, right? But as time went on, I noticed that this kid has what you call a motor, right? And bigs generally don't come with a motor, right? They have a motor from some stuff, but not a motor for other stuff. If y'all understand what I'm saying, like the things they're good at. Yo, AC is in the building. Hey, salute Antisocial in the building. Salute for holding us down on social media. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yo, somebody big up Antisocial in the chat, man. Somebody give Antisocial a thumbs up, man, in the chat for holding us for years. For years. Wacko in the building. Salute. Salute. Antisocial's like, what up? Nah, you know what? Hey, man, appreciate you for all the work over the years. Like, I don't know why we don't ever shout you out. It's like, I will never shout out Antisocial. Shout out, shout out to the Lawrence Tears family, Antisocial, man, for real. Wacko was in the building. Salute. The James Naji thing, I want to kind of give credit to Leon Rose for pulling this off. I want to give credit to Leon Rose for pulling off the James Naji thing. During the pre-draft process during the Wemby draft, during the pre-draft process of the Wemby draft, there were a lot of, man, that draft was Cam Whitmore, Derek Lively, the Thompson twins, Scoot Henderson, Wemby, the kid in Charlotte, Brandon Miller. There's a lot of talent in that draft, man. A lot of talent in that draft. And the player that stood out to me the most in that draft, I'm talking about attainable talent. I'm not talking about top 3 talent, because top 3 talent, the Knicks would never get it straight away, right? But James Nnaji stood out to me because of a term that I call accidental physicality, right? And it sounds crazy when I make up a term like accidental physicality. And what I mean by that, Rich Boy in the building, salute. Still Knicks fans is in the building. Salute. Ron, I still gotta call you so we can get in that, so I can get in that algorithm, man. I've been trying to figure that out. I don't know how. I'm just grinding as hard as I can and hope people like me in the content. I don't know how to get in that algorithm. I can't figure it out. I just do the best I can. Hope people like Uncle Freezie. If they don't, I don't. But for the people that do love content like this, man, I hope they, you know what I'm saying, like the host, like somebody that's sincere. And I know sincere is a soft word nowadays. Like when you hear sincere, people are like, yeah, he's soft. And, you know, it ain't that. It's, you know what I'm saying, I care. Right? I care about the content. I don't care about how, if I'm right or wrong. I don't care about if the panel is right or wrong. I care about the content, right? How good was the conversation? Who all was involved? Did we talk facts? And so, yeah, I'm gonna call Ron later on today. I'm gonna put him on the spot. I'm gonna call Ron and see if I can get in this algorithm. Hot grabber in the building. Hey, Sherwin says 6'11", 226. Nah, dog. Hey, Sherwin, since you saw that, that's the number I saw. That's the high school number, I think. That's the high school number. The last number I saw is that man is 6'11", 250. I think that's the high school number, right? Or the age 18 number is. I'll put it that way. That's the age 18 number. I think. Now, I may be wrong. Now, none of us know for sure, right? None of us know for sure. All we can go by is the sparse facts we can find on the internet. Top Notch T, happy Juneteenth. Spread the word, brethren. Spread the word. Yo, when you hear that when you see that Juneteenth, man, hey, spread the word. For those that know what Juneteenth means, when you hear spread the word, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm super excited about this kid, James Nnaji. And here's why. Accidental physicality shoots to the top of my list. I see clips of games where people run into him accidentally and get the bejesus knocked out of them. Just physical, just a specimen. This kid, and listen, I'm hyping him up, but I'm hyping him up in a reasonable sense. So if it sounds like hype train, yes, it's hype train. But if it sounds like hype train going somewhere, yes, it's going somewhere, right? This is not hype train clickbait midsummer such and such slow or nah. I've been saying James Nnaji's name since we started talking about aerial hook porting. Ever since we started talking about aerial hook porting in training camp and all of that, I was saying James Nnaji also. Grabber, I'm gonna tell you, bro. This kid, James Nnaji, is built like Julius Randle, except 6'11". This kid, James Nnaji, yeah, he built like OG Anunoby, except 6'11". This kid did the bro. Okay, so few things. You know what? I'll do this. I'm gonna put something on the screen. I'll put something on the screen if my internet participates. If my internet participates, y'all, I'll put something on the screen. This kid, James Nnaji, is a physical freak. This kid, James Nnaji, and you know what? I'll save that. I'll wait a few minutes for that. But this kid, James Nnaji, has an excellent offensive and defensive motor. James Nnaji is the epitome of a human being with too much energy. Right? The dude legit never stops moving on a basketball floor. You have to tell him to stop. No, wait right there. This kid, James Nnaji, I watched a sequence where I think he screened on a play 4 times, got the offensive rebound, put back dunk. Think about what I'm saying now. That's one play. Right? That's one play. I'm not saying it happens often. Pete was good. I'm not saying that this happens often. Right? HRM is in the building. Salute, my God. HRM is in the building. I saw James Nnaji legitimately screen 4 times in one half-court set, get double teamed by 2 people. It's the highlight y'all saw. Y'all probably saw the same highlight. The dude screens 4 times. He goes out, screens, flips, screens, goes, screens away, come back, screens. 2 guys put a body on him. He rolled off the 2 guys. The shot comes off the opposite side, and he throws it back with one hand. Now, am I saying a veteran on this roster is in trouble? No. Dripmore is in the building. Yo, Greg Hamilton in the building. Salute. Salute. The most impressive thing to me about James Nnaji is his motor. None of that on defense. He's just looking for something. He's an active body. James Nnaji is a live wire. Kind of like your homeboy that's always lit. Like every time you see your man's is always lit. Your man's is always lit. That's James Nnaji. James Nnaji is a live wire. Now, the things that go with a live wire is him being 6'11", somewhere between 226 and 250. The last thing I saw was 250. Right? So he's rocked up and sturdy, shredded. James Nnaji looks like a workout warrior. James Nnaji looks like Antonio Davis. Anybody remember Antonio Davis? I'll give you one better. James Nnaji's archetype, his body looks like the Indiana Pacers' Jermaine O'Neal. Right? Well, no, not even that thin. Right? Not even that thin. James Nnaji looks like Dale Davis. James Nnaji looks shredded. looks ripped at 250. Prototype size, prototype motor. Here's the thing that is a byproduct. Here's the thing that's a byproduct of prototype size, prototype motor. Elite defensive instincts. Yo, New York Knicks Rewind. Thank you for the generous contribution. New York Knicks said, New York NY Knicks Rewind says, Freezie, do you think he'll be on the summer summer league team? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm gonna say this. Of all the tier level of Knicks developmental bigs, he's at the top of the list. He's at the top of the list. I personally think right now, or I'll say it one better, I think from day one, he was better than Ariel Hukporti, who I love. I think James Nnaji right now, and since November, or since about January, I felt like he was better than Ariel Hukporti. And this is no knock on Ariel Hukporti. This is actually kudos to Leon Rose. This is absolute kudos to Leon Rose for getting an all-star center and a developmental rotational big in the same draft. I mean, in the same trade. Kudos to Leon Rose for that. Do I think he'll be in Summer League? Absolutely. Absolutely. He wasn't in Summer League last year because he was coming off an injury. He was coming off the ACL injury. This kid, James Nnaji, I'm going to say this. Don't trust me or what I say. Check for yourself. Check for yourself. I'm not telling you to get in trouble at work for jumping on a such and such and such. But I'm saying if you have some time, check them out. The physicality is amazing. He could be screening someone else and someone else brushes him and get knocked off their path by touching him. And that's crazy, right? Hey, salute to the son of the legendary Cox. Cox asked, can he play? No. Do you mean offensive minutes at the 4? No. He's not that guy yet. Don't even consider any offensive game away from the basket. Nope. He is the classic defensive-minded, raw, shot-blocking, rim protector archetype. Think a very raw Mitchell Robinson in the early years. Absolutely. Can he guard 4s? Yes. Can he guard some 3s? Yes. Can he guard some 2s? In a switch, in a pinch, he can stay in front until your defense recover, but I'm not assigning him to 2s. But the second thing I want to touch on about James Nnaji is his hip flex and lateral quickness is unreal for a guy his size. For a guy his size now, I'm just saying, just keep it in context. I'm not saying that this dude is John Morant out there at 250. What I'm saying is, for a guy that's 250, I'll give you an example. If Karl Anthony Towns frustrates you with his hip flex and lateral quickness on defense, James Nnaji is the complete opposite. You're like, wow, did he just do that? Yep, James Nnaji. This kid has. I think I have to do put a thing up here for James Nnaji, because this kid, in my mind, this kid is amazing. Right now, mind you, he check. All right. Can y'all hear me? Y'all can still hear me, right? Check. Hello. Hey, one of my day oneers, put in the chat if you can still hear me. Bim. In game is in the building. This kid, James Nnaji, his lateral quickness is amazing. I mean, I'm talking about amazing. I'm gonna do, let me see if I can do, let me take this white off of here. As a matter of fact, you know what? While I do this, I'm gonna ask y'all to, put y'all questions about James Nnaji in the chat, and we'll have a conversation. Y'all tell me what's your question about that? Okay. So 19 Command NYC 84 is in the building. Salute. Who is better, Huck or Nnaji? I'm gonna say this. I really like Aerial Hook Porty. I like Airport, man. I like Airport a lot. I think Airport is like one of them cats that can kind of turn out to be a Isaiah Hartenstein type. You know, the guy that kind of is like on your bench, honing his craft, and then all of a sudden, like a year, he just break out and just start doing stuff. I like Huck Porty, right? But I think James Nnaji legitimately can be a bigger, stronger, more athletic Clint Capella. I think Clint Capella is the guy that James Nnaji can be if he gets the basic stuff down. If James Nnaji gets the basic stuff down, he's Clint Capella in his prime Clint Capella. Right? Now, if he develops properly and reaches his potential, I think he's I think James Nnaji in this league can be Mitchell Robinson in his prime. I think James Nnaji in his prime can be Mitchell Robinson with a smidgen of offense. And when I say a smidgen, I don't mean 20 points and 14 rebounds, right? What I mean is maybe 12 points, 12 rebounds, 70% from the floor, 2 blocks a game. That's a lot. 2, by the way. I'm gonna put this on the screen for everybody that's for people that don't know who he is. Right? I'm gonna put this on the screen. His number one strength is this. Let me take the caps off. I'm sorry, y'all. I think I saw somewhere that his vertical is somewhere between 41 and 47 inches. I don't know if this is true or not. I'm just gonna go by what I saw. I don't know how true this is. It's the internet, so I'm just gonna full disclosure. I don't know how accurate it is. This is an estimate, and 6 inches is a wide variance. Everybody. Yo, the reason why I list the physicality, intentional and unintentional, is let me hit my guy up before he. And people are hitting me up randomly, like, "Yo, Uncle Freezie, you ever heard of this dude, James Naji?" Yes, I heard of James Naji. Y'all texted me, like, "Yo, James Naji." The only person, that kind of hit me up, and I knew what it was Dre. Dre was like, "Yo, look at this." Let me do this real quick. All right. Yo, Top Notch T says, Naji looks like another Mitch to me. Just might move better than Mitch too. I think the youth part of it is probably the reason why he might move better than Mitch now, is because Mitch is seasoned and is not a spring chicken anymore. But Mitch is still great, right? No knock on Mitch, and I don't even, to be honest, I'm not comparing him to Mitch right now in that sense. The only reason why I would even put him and Mitchell Robinson in the same conversation is for archetype purposes only, right? This is no knock. Mitch ain't, you know, basically Mitch still good money to me. So I'm trying to make this a little bit bigger so we can see, so y'all can see this better. The physicality part right here, that is, I have physicality intentional and unintentional. The unintentional part, y'all, and this is something we have to consider, is sometimes that leads you to foul trouble. Sometimes this leads you to foul trouble. Right? The motor, the physicality, it gets him in foul trouble. So that's something that he has to be taught. But here is one of his strengths, though. Another one of his strengths. Webb says, hey, his defensive play is, hey, I'm trying to get. I feel you. This is why I'm so excited. That's what, there are so many things to like about this kid. That there are so many things to like about this kid, man, that there are so many things to like about this kid. You gotta kind of, he's like the type of kid that you gotta kind of root for, man. You know, you feel me? Like you gotta root for kids like this that do all these things the right way, face adversity like with injuries and things of that sort, and you know what I'm saying, and fight back, just play hard. Right? Cat said the kids that just play hard, man. So I want to put one of his weaknesses up here. You can take that one or two ways, right? You can take that one or two ways. Hey, Kerry Cox, he's 20. He'll be 21 in August. August 14th. So his weakness is, major weakness, no offensive touch. And this is a byproduct of the accidental physicality. Foul trouble. Foul merchant, foul machine. But it's not, so it's not, his foul trouble is not, from what I saw, his physicality is not stupid cat Carl Anthony Towns type fouls, like you a 7-footer trying to get a steal 35 feet away from the rim. It's not stupid fouls like that. Right? So he doesn't commit stupid fouls like somebody's got a wide open layup and he just show up from out of nowhere on a made shot and foul somebody. Like the shot is damn near in the rim and somebody will still foul. Like, nah, bro, let him have it. Yo, the giving him another point doesn't send drive a point home, basically. I want to say this, y'all, and I want to be clear. I want to be clear about when I say this. The Leon Rose front office here lately has been absolutely cooking. The Kev McCullough kid is a younger, more athletic, some might say smarter version of Josh Hart, who we love, by the way. We like Josh Hart. There's no knock on Josh. But this kid, Kev McCullough, is a younger, springier, thirstier, played harder version of Josh Hart. Right? For instance, if Josh Hart started with Kev McCullough as his floor, Josh Hart would be a better player right now. In my opinion. Right? In my opinion. Right? Now, here's the thing about, and the reason why I bring that up is because the James Nnaji acquisition at the time looked like a throw-in. Like, hey, put some extra napkins in the bag. Nah. I think the Knicks probably had this guy targeted the whole time and couldn't get him. I think the Knicks had this guy targeted the entire time and just couldn't get him. Right? When the draft played out, he was the first pick of the second round. And after that, they were like, we can't get the guys that we want. We may as well just trade Obi Toppin, trade out of the draft and all this stuff, man, and move on. I see y'all in the chat. The Jaren Jackson Jr. conversation is crazy, right? I like Jaren Jackson Jr. I ain't gonna lie. I like Jaren Jackson Jr. Do I like him enough to consider moving a guy that we have based on the potential, the upside of Ariel Hookporty and James Nnaji? No. Tori be in the building. If it wasn't for the Bronx, you already know the rest. The one other thing about James Nnaji that I want to mention is defensive instincts are something that usually can't be taught, right? Either you're a defender that can score, like OG Anunoby, like Mikal Bridges, or you're an offensive player that can defend a little bit, like Jason Tatum. Right? So with the James Nnaji kid, is James Nnaji gonna show you a pull out a 3-point shot in summer league? No. Right? Like James Nnaji legitimately is gonna dominate his peers at his level defensively. Right? And James Nnaji at the NBA level, is going to have to learn how to stay out of foul trouble, right? because he's an instinctive, disciplined defender. The only thing about that, though, is when you don't see NBA offenses ran at the speed of an NBA offense, there's going to be a learning curve. Right? There's going to be a learning curve. Right? There's just going to be a learning curve. He's going to come in. He may be put on a two-way initially, and then be given a long-term deal based on what his projected development would be. A Jericho Sims type contract. A Deuce McBride type contract. Right? You know, 2+1, like a fully guaranteed year, a partial guaranteed year, and then a team option type contract. Just to see if the guy is worth it. Right? But the Knicks know, I know, James Nnaji knows, the league knows that James Nnaji is here to stay. And just to give you some insight, James Nnaji was actually drafted by the Pistons. The Pistons like a certain body archetype. They like a certain type of big. But he was drafted by the Pistons, his rights traded to Charlotte, or however, the pick belonged to Detroit. And Charlotte drafted there, however it goes, right? However it worked out, right? But if he's attached to the Pistons in Charlotte, in a way where you're like, so ultimately, what I'm saying to you is, this kid, James Nnaji, to me, looks like the real deal for what our expectation level is. I see y'all having the Memphis conversation. Memphis is blowing it up. I'm just gonna say that. You know how sometimes somebody asks you a question and words can't. You just like, he's not J.R. Swish. Yeah, he's not Wimby. I'll just put it that way. Kenny Payne in the building. Yeah, man. KP, it's not that, bro. It's the Knicks have brought in hoopers over the years, and you're like, is he a hooper or no? Like, y'all remember when Matt Ryan came in? Remember Matt Ryan? And there were some people standing for Matt Ryan, like, yo, just give him a chance. He just need a chance. He always been on the outside looking in, man. He just need a shot. And then he get here, and you like, that man don't need no shot. He not it. We just got to be honest in our conversations. We just got to be. Corey Lee in the place to be. What's good? Corey Lee says, peace and salute. Peace and salute. Thank you, everyone. We reached our 20K subscriber. Now let's go for 30. Salute to the good brother Corey Lee. The kid Naji is gonna bring a certain level of I want to say it, but I don't want to overstate it. So y'all pardon me if I get clumsy with the way that I say it, but just if you just hear my intent on it. So the words might not be correct, but just hear my intent. James Nnaji brings a more aggressive PJ Tucker like approach to the game. And he can do that because he's bigger and stronger and younger than PJ Tucker. But he brings that to the game. Like there is no, when you put James Nnaji on the floor, there is no toughness issue. Let me be clear. James Nnaji is the opposite of finesse. James Nnaji is raucous. James Nnaji legitimately if you like physicality and toughness, congratulations, it's your birthday. This is your present right here. If you like physicality and toughness, I present to you James Nnaji. And it's instinctual too. Not he don't have to get mad in order to get physical. Like he just wake up out the bed physical. He like the dude that wake up out the bed and knock his lamp over, just getting out of the bed. He just physical like that. Like, you know how some people you have to push people around in order for them to get tough or whatever. Like, you know, some people have to get angry in order to toughen up. Like James Nnaji is naturally that from what I've seen in limited clips. Now, I'm not saying that I flew to Europe to scout him and was at every one of his practices, workouts, and games. No, just from walking on the floor and just stuff. Like staying on screens, making sure the dude that's getting screened is smashed on the screen. You can see that on tape. No, can he not? They're not related. Yeah, they're not related. They just have the same name. Naji is a last name like Jackson. It's no, they're not related. I don't even think they know each other. I also got that from the dude Hoop Intellect. So that's the source I got that from. The young dude Hoop Intellect. I watched the channel because I was thinking the same thing. He's like, nah, man, they're not related. They might not even know each other. All right, so I'm gonna shift gears a little bit because I gave James Nnaji an hour. That's a long time to talk about a guy, right? So what I want to talk about, what I wanted to talk to y'all about, so keep turning to talk about a bad trade. Yeah, hey man, it depends on how you look at it, man. I feel y'all. I understand how y'all feel. Trust me, but I'm gonna say that I'm gonna say this again because I think you have to have perspective. I'm gonna talk about the Mikal Bridges trade just real quick. One, you know that man was not used properly, right? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? You had Cat and Bridges for one. You had Cat and Bridges 1 year, and how you deployed both of them got you fired. How you deployed both of them got you fired. You got fans about to trying to turn on a guy that's the NBA Iron Man for multiple different coaches. Multiple different coaches. This man, Iron Man, elite defender, he get here and all of a sudden, this dude is a second round pick talent? No. Tighten up. And if you don't understand it, man, listen, if you don't understand it, you don't understand it. Understanding ain't for everybody. Understanding is a moving target. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. And if you don't get it, whatever. There'll be other things to think about. But you don't get a guy like Mikal Bridges and deploy him as if he's Quentin Grimes because of your system. You don't use all of that draft capital and players to get a guy and then deploy him like a guy that you had coming off your bench. It makes zero sense. It makes zero sense. I don't have to remind everybody what all the other NBA teams were looking to offer for Mikal Bridges before the Knicks swooped up and acquired Mikal Bridges. Teams were offering 4 unprotected firsts for Mikal Bridges. Teams are offering like 4 young players and 2 unprotected for Mikal Bridges. And then we acquire Mikal Bridges and deploy him as if he's Quentin Grimes. Bridges, your job tonight is to run through how many possessions in a game? How many possessions in the NBA each team? About 100 possessions? Each team will probably have about 100 possessions in an NBA. So Bridges, your job tonight is to run through 250 hard set screens and stay attached. That's your job. So in a game, 100 possessions, Bridges, your job tonight, you're going to play about 37 minutes. I want you to run through 250 hard set screens from bigs out on the perimeter tonight. And if you get anything less than 200 by the fourth quarter, I'm going to bench you for Deuce McBride. And yet some Knicks fans will say, hey man, that man he wasn't a better version of Quentin Grimes. Well, he don't need to be a better version of Quentin Grimes. He don't need to be a better version of Quentin Grimes. You could grab a ham sandwich from anywhere to be better than Quentin Grimes. You needed Mikal Bridges to be the best version of Mikal Bridges, and did the coach deploy Mikal Bridges in a way where you got the benefit of having Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby on the same floor defensively? No. You got Mikal Bridges getting smashed on the first screen down the floor, takes him out of the play. Now you have OG Anunoby guarding a wing player and an area coverage, right? They fake a pass. OG has to guard. Now OG's guarding like 1 or 2 people and an area. They pass the ball away from OG, and now you got Karl-Anthony Towns in drop coverage against a mobile point guard and athletic big, and they score at the rim. And now you're blaming Mikal Bridges and Karl-Anthony Towns for the defense. Oh no, don't say that, Uncle Freezie. This is basketball. I saw that, but I want to blame somebody else. No, there's one person that deserves the blame, and he not here. I ain't gonna kick his back in. He gone, he gone. You can't even weaponize OG and Anunoby defensively because you're getting Mikal Bridges smashed up on the screen as soon as the other team cross half. You wipe out your second best defender off the rip. And now you got OG and Anunoby trying to guard everything at that mid-level. And if they pass the ball away from OG, now you got Cat on the island at the rim, a 2-on-1, a point guard, and an athletic big, and now it's blame Cat. Or you could have just started switching stuff. You have switchable wings. You have Josh Hart. You have OG and Anunoby. You have Mikal Bridges. Or you can switch. So when people say the Mikal Bridges trade was a bad trade, I'll say to you this. I'll say to you this. I better not hear y'all ass ever say Pat Ewing had no help. The same ones in the chat that's saying the Bridges trade was a bad trade, I better not hear you. I might block the fuck out y'all ass if I ever hear y'all say Carmelo Anthony, they didn't build around Carmelo Anthony. I might walk to your job and smoke a cigarette on your car if I ever hear y'all say the Knicks didn't give Bernard King help. When the Knicks noticed that Jalen Brunson can be the franchise, and instead of letting Jalen Brunson go through the same thing that Pat Ewing went through, the same thing that Carmelo Anthony went through, the same thing that Bernard King went through, right? Instead of letting Jalen Brunson go through the same thing, this front office was proactive and spent what they had to make sure that Jalen Brunson's tenure as a Knick does not end the same way that Patrick Ewing's tenure as a Knick ended. We out here like, yo, the Knicks never got Pat Ewing help. The Knicks never got Carmelo Anthony help. The Knicks never got Bernard King help. And then Jalen Brunson get here, and then after 2 years, they like, yo, this dude's the truth. We got to go get him some help pronto. And Knicks fans complain about how the Knicks went out and got their superstar some help. And it'll be the same people that try to fix their crusty ass lips to say, Pat Ewing didn't have help. That's why we didn't win. And then when you go get Jalen Brunson help, they'll be like, oh, no, man, they paid too much for the help that they get. Shut your ass up. Stop it. You don't believe that yourself. You don't believe that yourself. You know this roster that you're looking at right now is probably the most talented roster from 1 through 8 the Knicks have had in 40 years. This might be the most talented roster the Knicks have had in 50 years. Right? How you got the roster doesn't matter. What you paid doesn't matter because you're not getting that stuff back. But what you do have is an elite wing defense. You have an elite wing that was misused. That's why your coach is gone. Right? You get OG Anunoby miscast. Now OG Anunoby has to play center field for the entire defense. Right? You got to play two bigs together in order to account for the misgivings of an outdated 3-point. Man, listen. Mikal Bridges is a player. And if I got to sell you on Mikal Bridges being a player, I don't know what you watched before Mikal Bridges got here. The same folks be like, I run a YouTube channel. I see this. I see y'all comments. The same folks that'll say Mikal Bridges wasn't worth such and such were the same ones excited when the trade went down. Mikal Bridges is a hooper and a good guy. And while I absolutely believe this Knicks roster is championship worthy right now, I'm gonna speak to you guys. I'm gonna speak to the ones that actually want to see the Knicks win a championship and not just be right. Because some of us just want to say something just to be right. So that's on you. Like with your likes and do whatever. Hey, whatever. But if you don't want to walk out your job and see Uncle Freezie leaning in your car smoking a cigarette, y'all better leave Mikal Bridges' name out your mouth. Lee and Lee, they think I won't do it. Joe White in the building. E. Gibson was good. Right. Mikal Bridges is a hooper. Teams around the league. Did you see what Brooklyn paid for Mikal Bridges? Did you see what the Houston Rockets were offering for Mikal Bridges? Houston was offering some weird Tyree Eason, Jalen Green, and 4 first round for Mikal Bridges. But you have them. But you have him. And you know he was deployed incorrectly, right? You know he was deployed incorrectly because of players only meetings and all of this stuff, trying to figure some stuff out. Like the coach is telling us one thing, we're seeing something else. Will the coach listen to us? Y'all already know. Y'all already know. The thing about the Knicks is this, and the thing with a lot of NBA teams is this: they know a savior is unattainable. You have to build your team smart with guys that want to play with each other. You have to build your team smart with guys that want to play with each other. And just because Cat doesn't ice grill you like Giannis, the softest dude in the world, in my opinion, the softest NBA player on the planet, Giannis, he'll dunk on somebody and shoot the ice grill. Hey, look at me, I'm tough. You ain't tough, okay? You complained 46 minutes of the game. Man, Troll Embiid is tough, man. Did you see Troll Embiid ain't tough? He complained 50 minutes of the game, crying to the ref. Ref give him mercy calls like, bro, okay, I'll give you these free throws if you just stop the whining. But our guys play the game with a different way. They play with an enjoyment, a smile on their face. They do handshakes. Our players like each other. Corey Lee in the place to be says, he says, heed the warning, take heed, you've been warned. Man, our guys like it. These dudes smile. These dudes podcast with they genuinely like each other. They want to play and win a championship for the Knicks. The Mikal Bridges thing can be summed up in two ways. What was his worth in the league before we acquired him? And are you willing to watch Jalen Brunson, or were you willing to watch Jalen Brunson play out his entire prime without any help? Y'all tell me. I'll ask a different question. If the Knicks could have gave up 6 first-round picks for Mitch Richmond to go with Patrick Ewing in his prime, would you have been okay with that? In 1990, or 91, whatever year, Mitch Richmond was available for Golden State, right? The year they drafted Sprewell. Would you have given up 6 first-round picks for Mitch Richmond to go with Pat Ewing? I'll name the picks too, by the way. 90, Gerard Mustaf. So Gerard, would you have given up Gerard Mustaf, Greg Anthony, Monty Williams, Hubert Davis, I don't know, Charlie Ward, and Trevor Ariza for Mitch Richmond to go with Pat Ewing in his prime? And now think about this. Think about those picks. Like, those are the picks, right, that the Knicks gave up, right? Now think about what those picks are going to look like when another team uses those draft picks. Is it worth it? Yes, it's worth getting Mikal Bridges to go with Jalen Brunson. Right? Jalen Brunson's 28. You don't have a lot of time with Jalen Brunson in his prime. You might have 4 more years of prime Jalen Brunson. And are you going to waste that by doing a search every summer in the draft? I'm going to draft this 18-year-old shooting guard out of North Carolina. He looks like the perfect fit for Jalen Brunson. And then the next year, hey, yeah, we just going to draft this 19-year-old Euro kid, man, 6'7" point guard type. We're going to play him at the 2 next to Jalen Brunson. And then the year after that, man, we're just going to draft this. No, go get Mikal Bridges. They played together. They're friends. They know each other's game. They want to be in New York. They want to win a championship for the Knicks. Think about what the Knicks did to Carmelo Anthony. Instead of trading, Carmelo Anthony is here. Carmelo Anthony was here, and they just kept bringing in guys, kept bringing in young guys. Tony Douglas, a whole bunch of just, bro, Melo is just trade for. Melo is here, bro. Just trade for a guy. Go get Chris Paul. Go get a young Chris Paul to go with Melo. Chris Paul was in New Orleans making New Orleans great again, and he available. And instead of the Knicks going out and getting Chris Paul, right? Instead of they just Linsanity. Did Linsanity win us a championship? We're gonna win because we're New York. Nah, you're gonna win because you make smart moves, right? Put infrastructure in place. Embrace your players as players, people, and thinkers. Take their feedback. The front office doesn't know everything. Analytics doesn't share everything. Players create analytics, right? The byproduct of a player's performance is analytics. So you take the history of what a player did, project it forward in different situations, and analytics. Bernard King in 83 is a weapon. 84, he a weapon, right? You can trade. The Knicks could have traded for a young Karl Malone, right, to go with they could have traded for a young Dominique Wilkins in Atlanta to go with Bernard King, but they didn't. And Bernard King's 208 games as a Knick are a glorious footnote in Knicks history, a glorious one. Frank Ntilikina played more games than Bernard King as a Knick. This is a fact. But that time is wasted because of one superstar carrying an entire franchise on his back. A superstar doesn't win, right? You need the Avengers, right? Captain America can't beat everybody. The Avengers can, though. Superman can't be everywhere at once. The Justice League can help, though. So that's why when every time I see somebody put out that the Mikal Bridges trade was a bad trade, it makes me think, what is this person thinking? Or are they thinking at all? Or is it just hate? Did his performance this year frustrate you to the point where you assume that it was a bad trade, but you don't think about the factors? Was Mikal Bridges deployed as Mikal Bridges, or was he deployed as Quentin Grimes? I think the Knicks right now are looking at how this team was deployed and their frustrations, and seeing how they can indeed improve the performance and get the best out of every player. Ariel Hukporti, who should have played more. Pacom Dadier, who should have played more. Tyler Kolek should have been developed more. Deuce McBride, miscast. The new guy that comes in, the new coach that comes in, right? The new guy that comes in is basically going to be tasked with gelling the current roster, the front seven guys, who in what order, whatever order you put them in, the top seven of Brunson, Bridges, OG, Josh, Cat, Deuce, and Mitch. Their job is going to be have those top seven gel, while also developing Ariel Hukporti, Kev McCullough, Pacom Dadier, Tyler Kolek, if they're here. Seeing what you have in James Nnaji. Drafting another point guard and wing player. It's got to be the focus. A big young point guard has got to be the focus this summer. It's got to be the focus. It's got to be the focus. Lee in the building says, say it again so the people in the back can hear. This man is cooking knowledge being passed out. Embrace it. I'm just saying, appreciate The love, Corey Lee. Thank you for the generous contribution. Appreciate that, man. Coach says, was it Anthony Black from I wish. I wish. Is there a young Anthony Black out there, that archetype out there? I'm not sure. Leonard Williams says, what about Moses Brown? Hey, what about him? Hey, I ain't gonna front. Moses Brown is older than Mitchell Robinson. Right? He older than Mitch, and this kid James Nnaji, in my opinion, and I don't know this to be absolutely true, but I would trust my own instincts when I say that James Nnaji is better than Moses Brown right now. Way better. Way better. And there's no knock on Moses Brown because in theory, we have a rich person problem. Oh my God, we have so many bigs. Take your pick. These are rich team problems right here. Ultimately, I guess what I'll get at too real quick before we get out of here for lunch is I think Leon Rose is absolutely cooking right now. Leon Rose is cooking right now. I never thought I'd be the first person to say it. I think he's cooking. Right? Hit him up says Moses Brown is not older than Mitch. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, it's because of misinformation, and I apologize if I gave out misinformation. But I thought Moses Brown was 27. I thought Moses Brown was, you know what? I'll Google. I have the computer right here. I just happen to have a computer right here, y'all. How old is Moses Brown? Oh, he's 25? Yo, this kid is 25. I thought that man was like 28. He almost a baby. He'll be 26 in October, which that's still, you know. Yeah, Moses Brown is 25. Andios in the building. Salute. What's good, man? Hey, I don't know. I can't. Stanley Johnson was supposed to be the next Jimmy Butler. He's going to be the next Jimmy Butler. Yeah. Yeah, I'm wrong on the Moses Brown thing. I thought that man was like 27. He's still a baby almost, 25. Just real quick on the coaching search thing. Leon Rose, if you're watching, take your time. If you're watching, take your time, man. Right? Take your time. Whatever. Ain't no rush. There are no other head coaching openings. There are no other teams right now looking for a head coach. And there are a bunch of coaches out there that need jobs. Take your time. Choose the right one. Why rush? Right? The draft is next week, this time next week. You don't really need a coach to come in and tell you exactly, what player he wants in the draft. Most coaches are going to basically say, this is the archetype I'm looking for. And on that note, everybody, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Thank y'all for all the contributions in the chat, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for all the comments in the comment section. Y'all got to keep this up, man. This felt good today, man. Y'all gotta keep this up, man. Keep putting stuff in the chat, man. Keep the chat bumping. You know what I'm saying? So we can continue to have conversations. I thought my guy Coach was coming through. I don't know. Maybe I sent it to him late. Maybe I don't know. Coach is a night owl, so maybe we'll get a chance to rock tonight for old time's sake. So thank you, everybody. I'm gonna get out of here. Peace, y'all.